Yo, what's going on, guys? Throat's still kind of under the weather, but I'm pushing through regardless. I actually got cornerback rankings coming up later this week. That's going to be insane. And I got a 3 round post combine mock draft. Again, draft season is all about getting information, getting information, getting information. I'll give you guys an example. Jackson Smith and Jigba has always been my one, right? And before I get to this 3 round mocker, I just want to give myself some flowers. He's always been my receiver one. You guys know kind of how I talk about him. Even though I didn't rank him one, you guys know that really, I just had an affection for Jackson Smith and Jigba, especially at 26. I had Jordan Addison higher, but as I watched more film, as I watched them move throughout the drills, it's clear that Smith and Jigba just jumped everybody. And he really has, and he's probably going to be wide receiver one. But that's somebody who I was on early in the process. I take so much pride in my draft work and in my eye that I just don't want people to skip steps when they're doing this stuff. I want them to really watch the film. Even a guy like Voorhees, he gets hurt at the combine, and it's quite unfortunate. But that's somebody who I was high on, and even though he had the ACL, I wouldn't be mad if Dallas drafted him in the 4th or 5th round because he's that good. But anyway, guys, I got the PFF simulator pulled up here. I'm going to start the draft. We got a bunch of information this weekend. I covered the combine wall to wall, and I'm still giving you guys coverage. Here we go. Let's start this simulator, and let's see what happens. So, the Cowboys are picking at 26. Here we go. Now, right now the board is falling quite nicely. But let's look at who's been picked before us. Some of this is realistic, some of it is not, but I will say this. I actually think that quarterback, will go 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't think that I don't think that these teams are gonna let a guy quote unquote fall because most of these teams. The only one that I really don't like is Levis when it comes to the quarterback position, but I believe that teams will talk themselves into Levis. They're definitely going to talk themselves into Anthony Richardson to the point to where I think Richardson might even jump Bryce Young. Now, should he? No. But could he? Yes. And then for my money, C.J. Stroud was the best quarterback at the combine and was the most accurate. So quarterbacks are going to go high. I always say this. I've said this every draft cycle. When they go early, it pushes good players down the board. Now, when we think about tight end, nobody wants to talk about this position because it's scary. It's like, why would you ever draft a tight end high? But you got to remember, at 26, all you may be wiped out of first round grades, unfortunately. And if you are, excuse me, guys, it's tough just with this allergies and all this crap, the weather changing and all that. But if you are wiped out of first round grades and you have the best tight end on the board, let's say it's Kincaid. Let's say it's, let me go down the board a little bit. Let's say it's Darnell Washington. Let's say it's a guy like that. Let's say it's Michael Mayers. Could the Cowboys do themselves some justice and just draft a big body who can help Dak? B. John Robinson is staring at you. But I'm going to do something different here. I'm going to draft Nolan Smith. And the reason I'm going to draft Nolan Smith is because I think that his testing was off the charts, and I think that a defensive coordinator like Dan Quinn would know what to do with him, and now your defense is flat out set. Edge pressure, he could play off ball a little bit, and he's basically a mirror. He's not quite as good as Micah because he's not quite as athletic, but he's really close. And I think that he would help ease some of that loss of maybe you don't know what's going to happen with DeMarcus Lawrence in the near future. Him, Sam Williams, Micah Parsons now have your front solidified. And we know that the Cowboys will take edge high. All right. Pick 58. We're on the clock. Let's see who's went off the board. Luke Musgrave, Jack Campbell, somebody who I really like. And then to me, I'm looking either guard here. Now, Sam Laporta is interesting because he's a really good blocker, and he blew up the combine as well. Absolutely had an outstanding combine. Eli Ricks would be tempting as well. Jordan Battle is somebody who I really like. But for my money, the pick would be Rashee Rice. I thought the Rashee Rice's combine was outstanding. I thought that the 41-inch vert, I thought the 4.5 40 was good. He's more than a possession receiver. He has some juice after the catch. He really is a kind of like a split image of CeeDee Lamb. Not quite as athletic, but really close. Gonna come in, gonna push Jalen Tolbert, who really couldn't even get on the field. And I think he adds a big body to the receiving room that could possibly push Michael Gallup off a ledge. So Rashee Rice coming into Dallas could really help, a fast player. And now I'm really liking my draft so far. And then at pick 90, this is interesting, right? I think it would have to be guard or somewhere along the line, and let's look what we got. Now, it would be interesting because Tyjae Spears is staring at us, but I want to look to see what we have in the guard room. Because if we have a lineman, then I need to go there. Voorhees is staring at us, but with the injury, it's a little rich for my liking. And none of these guards really do it for me. We don't know what's going to happen with Zeke. And now this is very realistic because, again, backs don't go early. They kind of hang around. But there's no way that you guys know how highly that I've spoken about Tyjae Spears. So there's no way on God's green earth that I'm letting Tyjae Spears get past the third round. And right now, my 3-round mock would be complete. Nolan Smith, Rashee Rice, and Tyjae Spears in the third round. I would sleep very, very good at night. You guys let me know what you think. We didn't hit O-line, but I don't think that your O-line was bad. And now you bring in Nolan Smith, who is just a stud. He's going to come in and just bring instant attitude to this defense, which we already have that. But now you're just letting the fans know that we want to play good defense. Zeke, I love you, but Tyjae Spears is going to push you out the door. And he can come in and be, if Tony does get hurt, because you just franchised Tony, if Tony does get hurt, you don't have to change the offense with Tyjae Spears. He can come in, he can do all the things that you asked Tony to do. And then even in 2-back sets, you can have some fun with him as well. And then Rashee Rice, to me, just comes in. SMU puts some good receivers in the league. So Rashee Rice comes in, he pushes your receiver room. If nothing else, he can help on special teams and be a fourth option, and he's really good in the blocking game as well. You guys let me know what you think about this 3-round post-combine mock draft. Didn't write any notes down. Didn't pre-plan this. I literally just went with what we had and drafted. It's your boy Foots. Peace.